Let's just get it rolling, man. I just went ahead and pushed record, so we're rolling.
All right. Did you intro us up, or you can do that? There
she
it
goes.
is. All right.
Chet can't hear all this stuff, but we got the audio going. So we're live with Chet Lewis.
Hey.
How's it going, brother? He is in Iraq,
well.
Everybody.
Joining us all the way from Iraq.
Bagdad?
Chet.
Is that what the city is you're in, or what's it called?
Well, no, I'm actually outside of Baghdad, in an undisclosed location.
Okay. I got you.
Very nice.
I hear you. But yeah, you just put a video up the other day. It intrigued me, man. The crickets in your shower was pretty crazy, man.
Plague. Like.
Oh, yeah, those things are nasty. We had two waves of them. The first wave came about a week and a half ago, and then the second wave about 3 days ago. Unfortunately, tonight I haven't seen a whole lot of them. We've seen a few of them around, but they're not too plentiful tonight, thank God. Although I see a bunch of carcasses up underneath the desk we got to clean out.
I hear they're a nice protein.
Yeah, they were. You know, I did eat them in Thailand a few years ago. They're pretty tasty with teriyaki.
What else did you do in Thailand, Chet?
Can you get into that?
I went diving.
At an undisclosed
Scuba.
location.
Scuba diving.
Scuba diving.
So tell us a little bit, about your
That's
history with Bloodbath and what you're up to with them guys right now.
Well, Bloodbath, we got started in 2016, and it was a pretty ironic thing because I actually arrived into Jacksonville in 2015, came back from Afghanistan, and met up with Chaz, who had just moved into Jacksonville about a month before me, and then we hooked up with Zach, our drummer, who had moved into Jacksonville about a month after I did. So all three of us just moved into Jacksonville within a couple of months. And then we went through several iterations of the band before we finalized on what we have now. We had several bass players, some really good bass players, but somehow it's just I was listening to you guys talk about band and the personalities that it takes to really function well. And so even though we had quite a few other members of the band come through, the personalities just didn't match with one or all of us or them or what have you. So it's a relationship, you know that.
Oh yeah, chemistry
It's
project.
a family for sure, because sometimes we're with each other more than we are families, depending on what kind of project or what we're up to at the time.
Yeah, between work, practice, doing the gig on the weekend, you know what I mean? Making that happen takes
absolutely.
most of your day.
Have to get along for sure, and that's chemistry, like you're saying. It's got to be there, and it translates in the music too.
Oh yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, you have to have several things. Just like a normal relationship, you have to have your strengths covering somebody else's weaknesses, and so on and so forth. So we found that with the foursome that we have now. We actually run three guitars. We run backing tracks to cover the bass parts. And usually Chaz will play the bass parts for us. But we did that because we had gone to a 5-piece for a real brief period, and it was so damn crowded on the stage. We thought, well, this sucks ass. Let's just forego having a bass player. We have three guitars on stage anyway, so we'll just put bass in the backing tracks because nobody really gives a shit about a bass player.
Right, that's what I've been saying the whole time. I mean, just a bass player.
Round one.
Remarkably, Shane Shugart. I'm sure you guys all know Shane.
Oh yeah,
he had come into the band he was with us for a while. I really liked the guy a lot.
World Gone and
World Gone,
real big band in Jacksonville. Shout out to Shane. Get you on here, one day, brother, bass player.
Well, actually, Richie Surensee, you guys probably know Richie.
Big Rich.
Richie Surensee. Yeah, Big Rich. He's the one that introduced us to Shane. And we brought Shane in. Things just didn't work out. I still keep up with Shane. He's a good friend of mine. I really like that dude a lot.
He was fun to watch. He would jump off the drum kits and all kinds of fun. I would break Eddie's kit if I did that. I'm just a little bit bigger than old Shane.
Oh, yeah. Especially that
Shane Shugart.
Huh? No, Eddie's acrylic kit would probably shatter.
The way that Shane moves around on stage, I was saying if a guy my size did that, stuff would be breaking, and it would ruin the whole experience.
Well, I don't know if we're talking about the same Shane. We had a Shane early on that was with us for about the first year. Unfortunately, had some issues with drugs, and I understand I still try to keep up with him, but he's still having some issues. So Shane, if you see this, we love you, buddy, and I hope you get your shit straight. But he was the kid that would jump on the off the bass drum. We call it the squirrel kick.
But, that's the kid.
He was fun. Now Shane Shugart has a big ass beard weave coming off his chin. He's about 6'80". Yeah, big fucker.
You say it's weave.
He wasn't jumping off dick. He just stood over there and scared the shit out of people.
That's kind of what I do. I just make weird faces at him and make them go to the other side of the stage.
But I got to tell you a funny quick story about Shane. All right, Shane Shugart. So we had a show on Friday night that we did with Kellen Heller at 1904 Music Hall, and then we were heading to Tampa. We had a festival to go do on Saturday. Well, Friday night, Chaz is just sick as fuck. I mean, just with the flu. Right after the set was over, he just fell out. We had to carry him off the stage. I mean, he was jacked. And so we were really questioning whether we were going to be able to do the next show. But the dude was just a trooper. I mean, he was sucking fluids like it was cool. Yeah, he's just a warrior, man.
Is he military as well? Or
we get up the next day.
Sorry.
Chaz, no. Chaz is just like super smart. He's very eccentric. People don't get him.
Big buff dude, huh?
But he's just a big dude. But he's got an economics degree from Rutgers.
Wow.
Oh, the dude. That'd be awesome to have him in, give him an angle on our society as it is.
Absolutely.
Oh, you won't get much out of him on society. He'll just clam up on you. He doesn't really like talking politics or anything like that at all. He
just safe.
Completely stays away from it. So Shane and I, the next day, we check on Chaz. He's alive. So Shane and I sit out front of Chaz's house. We're driving the Suburban. We had a 2018 Suburban, and we were cruising that thing out to Tampa. And in the meantime, our manager at the time and Zach had taken off and gone ahead of us. So, and at that time, it was just me carrying the load of the guitars, and then Chaz jumping in with some accents. And we had Shane Shugart. So Shane and I are sitting out front of Chaz's place, and he had brought me some of that that wax.
Oh, good stuff.
So we were sitting out there smoking this shit out front of Chaz's house. So we take off. We're driving to Tampa, and we're listening to some tunes. So we got the GPS telling us how to go and the whole 9 yards. And we're driving along, and we're like, I look over at Shane. I'm like, dude, I am starving my ass off. He's like, yeah, me too. So we jump off the freeway. We run into the store. We get back out. We've got like Funyuns and a fucking hot dog and all sorts of shit. And so we take off. So our manager calls us up. And it's like noon, and he calls. And we didn't go on till like 10 o'clock at night. So I mean, I don't know why he's pressing us, but he calls us up. He says, "Hey, where are you guys at?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. We've been driving for a few hours. We got to be about an hour out." He says, "Oh yeah, have you hit traffic?" And I said, "No." And we were still waiting on the GPS to come up because I just started and pulled out. And so we're driving along, and he goes, "Where are you guys at?" And I looked over, and I could see the arrow, and I could see the freeway, the 4 lanes and shit. And then the name of the highway we were on was strumming down. And Shane's looking at the screen really hard. He goes, "We're on Normandy." and Dan's like, "You motherfuckers haven't even left Jacksonville yet."
Whoops. By the way. I love it. Where was that? Orlando?
That was great.
Were you going to Orlando by chance?
No, we were heading out towards. We were heading out of the middle of town, headed towards Tampa.
Tampa, that's right.
So we were driving down. Yeah, we were driving down Normandy, headed west, and I don't remember the route we were taking. Shit, I mean, I'm lucky just to remember that story.
Smoking wax,
But we made it alive, did the show, and it was fun. So,
hell yeah.
And we got there, and it was the funniest thing ever because we got there, and I'm standing there, and I'm fucking jacked, and Zach's standing next to me. There's this girl over there staring at us, and she sends her girlfriend over to tell Zach, "Hey, my girlfriend likes you." And I'm like, "Oh, this is high school. That's cool." And so Zach's like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting laid tonight." Blah blah blah. And then old girl comes over. She might have had 3 teeth in her head, and I am absolutely freaking crying. I am rolling. Like, go get her, stallion.
Butter teeth.
Oh no.
Everything's there, butter teeth.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that'd probably. I'll keep it clean for tonight.
today. It's
Today.
daytime here.
Well,
It's night where you're at, though, Chet, correct?
Yeah, it's almost 9:30 p.m.
So tell me about your
Tomorrow.
TikTok deal. Are you pretty famous on there yet? I mean, you're doing some pretty wicked dance moves, dude. You got to have gone viral by now.
No, you know what? I think like 3 people see the damn thing. I'm horrible.
Me too.
They don't give a shit.
I'm like, I'm
No,
going to
that's
do
funny,
something
man.
great.
It's
and then,
very
like,
entertaining for me, man. I'm not on TikTok yet. I don't know if I will be with the conspiracies going on with it.
I didn't even read into it because I don't want to be heartbroken. Don't take my
Yeah.
TikTok, Trump.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw, but they closed down a consulate in Houston.
Oh,
for
yeah,
China.
the China.
So I don't really
Oh,
know
yeah?
what that was all about. It just happened like 2 days ago.
They were
per se.
caught burning papers.
Spying, I
frantically.
guess, per se, on our. I don't know what. There's so many stories about shit. I don't know.
Kind of
what's
like
real.
when we gave Russia the boot a few years ago when they were up to some stuff moving, I guess, some type of computers out.
Yeah.
The government said you got to go. Here's your eviction notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tense,
Yeah, you know-
man. It seems to be tense right now when it comes to that. China.
Well, you know,
and
the good
US.
thing about TikTok. The good thing about TikTok is that you can go on there and you can embed the music. It's kind of like a iMovie or something. You can
Yeah.
embed the
Yeah.
music that
Instant,
you want.
you know,
So
instead of,
it's just they've already got the sound bite made up, so it's like 15 seconds of perfection. You don't have to go digging around. So
Yeah.
it's like a lazy man's way to make a cool video.
And
Oh, yeah.
iMovie doesn't allow you
Yeah.
to use some of those songs also, so that's the kind of cool thing about it.
no, I know a lot of people that use it.
Yeah.
It's totally entertaining. I have nothing against it. I don't know what this whole thing is against China with it.
They're probably
there's,
tapping into the microphone
whatever,
when you're in the shower and listening to you.
I don't know what could
Yeah.
they gain actually from it that Facebook isn't already gaining. Is my question. You know, it's the same. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
no-
what I mean?
no
Come
telling.
on. I don't get it.
I don't know. If I got to start worrying about fucking TikTok, I'm just going to end it.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, dude.
Shit
It's time to
like that.
send in the nukes.
Yeah, come on, man.
Start over.
Yep.
See you in the next world, wherever that may be.
Absolutely. You know, that's one of the reasons why I do that is because I'm sitting here and, you know, I've been overseas. I'll be finishing when I finish up here in August, I'll have hit 12 years of total time overseas as a
Wow.
contractor.
Wow.
And so, you know, I've had a lot of experience. I've been to 74, 75 countries. I've done a lot of crazy shit. I'm like Forrest Gump. You know, I've done a lot of really wild things. I did a Tour de Mont Blanc where I did a 110-mile trek through France, Italy, and into Switzerland.
Wow.
Nice.
Bro.
And I'm a master scuba diver. I did that. I taught myself how to play guitar because I was actually a singer. And I thought, well, if I took the demographics and everything that I understood about being a lead man and applied that to being a guitarist, and therefore had 2 lead men in the band where the other players aren't just standing off to the side playing their instrument with their thumb in their ass. They're actually moving around and being part of the show,
Yeah.
which is what we try to compel Bloodbath to do. But so I taught myself how to play the guitar starting in 2008, listening to Evanescence tunes and dropping the guitar down to drop D.
Oh yeah.
And learning how to play the damn thing. So my strength is my business side of things because I am the worst fucking musician in the band.
Oh come on, man.
but they just keep me around because I'm entertaining.
Yeah.
It's kind of my disposition here.
Everybody's got their strengths, right? You know.
That's it. Plus, you know, Chaz writes a lot of our stuff. You know, that's what people don't understand is like our songs. We take pop songs, but about 80% of them, we completely rewrite the damn thing. We take it, we keep the lyrics, we shove that off to the side, and then Chaz will just rewrite the damn thing from scratch. Like if you listen to Lights or, you know, songs like Lights or Don't Turn Around or things like that, the music's not even close to what
Heavy
the old one was.
breakdowns and crazy drop riffs. It's a good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're jumping into 7/8 timing and doing a lot of crazy shit. So it's you know, changing timing halfway through the song. There's a lot of
I think it's a really cool
triples,
angle.
quads.
It's a cool angle because
It's been fun.
You know, you can play the cover when we do covers, we do more homage type covers. You know, we don't change it so much But I do like when people do that because
Right.
you're like, well, if we're going to be a cover band, why not do something to use your creative side of your brain, rather than the logic side of just learning what somebody else did. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can
Right.
get to be an
Well,
artist
that's,
on top of it,
Absolutely. And the funny thing about us is that now we're delving off into another project. We're talking about, we've got a band named Eve's Witness, and we're talking about having another project outside of Bloodbath that we are now going to do all originals. But the way that we're writing these originals, we've got 10 written so far, just between Jay and I, and Zach's kind of stepped in. But we're doing these originals, and the way we're writing them is, I said, first I sit down because I didn't have shit else to do, and I started analyzing in the last 10 years what key were the number one song, any number one song that lasted more than 3 weeks, what key was it in, what was the BPM? Because I started reading about, body rhythms, all these things, you hear a song off the distance, you don't even know what it is, you find yourself kind of thumping to it.
Yeah, I get
what BPM was it? What is it about that song that's causing people to bounce?
Dude, I totally get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, so I went and looked at it.
The waves that are traveling around us, and how they affect your subconscious in a way. Definitely.
Exactly. So I thought, we found that 112 BPM was actually the average of what it came out to. And I believe the key was around A sharp was about the key that most of these songs were in.
He's a sharp guy.
But,
Hear that, Brian? He's a sharp guy.
Yeah,
I'm a sharp guy, too. They're flats. I'm sharp.
Some say flat, sharp.
Well,
depending which way.
I guess I guess it's which way you decide to go on the circle of fifths.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You get left or right. What are we doing?
Sharp brothers unite.
Yeah.
But so with this new project that we're talking about doing when I get back, we wanted to make our reference pop music. Because let's face it, the type of music that we do, metal, is a blue-collar music, and it's really hard to try to get people to follow it. You have 200,000 people versus 20 million that will follow that genre.
I see.
So we thought, well, let's look at what the pop music is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take that. Let's listen to it. Let's rob the fuck out of it. Been doing this whole time. If we change the words, if we change the words to 80% of our songs, you would swear to God you're listening to a new song.
Oh, we got Fraser up. There he is.
Just Dance or fucking Lights or whatever. You would never know that you were listening to a pop song from Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? You would never know that that's where we got our inspiration to write this thing, because we started writing, well, let's write this thing. Let's take Beat It. Let's rewrite the damn thing. And then after we get done, we're going to throw the lyrics out. We're going to rewrite those too. And then we just got to make sure we don't keep certain phrasing that we like. We'll put certain phrasings into the song just to kind of throw back to the old one.
Is that kind of like Steel Panther, what they do?
Out.
You listen to Steel Panther at all?
Yeah. I sure do. I didn't know where they got their influence from, because that's what I'm really talking about. Is if you get your influence for writing off Metallica and
they
Iron
went
Maiden
with
things like that.
All the 80s like hair metal bands, 90s, a little bit of 90s, but they just like Bon Jovi. They're a comical band. They write to be funny. Their lyrics are total satire stuff.
My favorite song is probably The Shocker.
But they're kind of poking fun and having fun at the same time, I guess you would say.
Yeah,
that's
that's
their angle. But
we've got a song that we wrote for Starboy. We have Starboy done. We've got Maps done from Maroon 5. But when you listen to the music itself, it doesn't sound anything like either one of those songs. So I said, let's just screw the lyrics over. Let's put in some new lyrics and let's see it, because they've got some, like Starboy has got some epic pieces to it. No verse, nothing is the same. Like the second verse is completely different than the first verse and how the music's going. The beat's the same, but the guitars are completely different. And there's really no set hook. There's like several different pieces. It's just really cool. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, if we take this kind of stuff and we really get that vibe, that pop R&B, well, not R&B, but the pop kind of a rap vibe to it. And almost, it's like if you listen to Linkin Park they were great at that. They were great at really getting people conceptually getting into the beat, but playing more of a rock metal type of genre.
Yeah,
and I thought that was just pure genius.
Oh, I love Linkin Park. Always.
Yeah, the bass lines in Linkin Park are a lot of fun to play. Very, very hip hopish for sure.
I think it leads into what he was saying: the frequency and the bounce and the tempo, where
what makes you move.
What those waves are doing to people. I mean, because it's real. It's what you're really doing out there. I
think Linkin Park used backing tracks too instead of a bass player, didn't they?
They had a lot of tracks, man. A lot.
They had a lot of tracks for sure.
We did a cover of what was it, Crawling?
Crawling, yeah, we did that.
We downloaded all the backing tracks that were in there, bro. Whenever you just hear it without the drums, guitar, bass in it, and vocals, and just hear the tracks,
some weird stuff going on.
There's a lot of layering going on.
You did a lot of some of the piano work, some of that program.
Yeah, I had to reproduce a couple parts of it, but most of it was there, and it was there was a lot of layers.
There was this weird, quick ticking going on. You would have never known it was there unless you dissected it.
Subliminal stuff. It really is. It's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
I like that. When you put headphones on, you want to hear those peripheral noises. You know what I mean? Like, what's that?
We teamed up with that one, Andrew Jones from Breaking Through. Man, we
crushed that day. That was a good.
The landing was on fire, dude.
Good performance. But
that's awesome.
So you guys are doing this remotely. That's pretty cool, right? I mean, are you putting your parts in, sending them back, and they're back and forth?
Well, it's been really cool. Chaz has put a lot of work into it. We've been having rehearsal. I go a day after them, so they've been recording because we use all IEM. Everything's internal for us. We don't use amps. We don't use speaker cabinets. Everything's DI. Straight into a splitter snake, and then we feed that to the house, and then we've got our own on stage. Pipe in our own
major bass coming through here somewhere. I don't know if you could hear that, but somebody was kicking a sub somewhere and just rattled my butthole. What the hell?
That was a brown note for sure.
I think we're good now.
But because we have we have all of our mixes coming in. We each have our own channels and everything into our splitter. Chaz is able to. Through Cubase, record rehearsal as they do it rehearsal, and then he'll go back and he'll mix that up, and then he'll send it to Dropbox. And then when I get up on Sunday, I'll pick it up, and then I'll sit down and pull up Logic 4, Logic 1, Logic 1.4. I think that's what the hell I'm using.
Gotcha.
Or it might Studio One. That's what it is.
That's
Studio
what I'm using right now.
1-4.
Yeah, Studio One's really good. I like it.
Yeah. So I'll jump on there and I'll put it in as a track, and then I'll just go and systematically play whatever song they're playing. I'll just sit down in my room back and
just keep them tight with
and I'll play. Yeah, exactly. And then I'll send it back, and then they'll put me in to their track when they rehearse, so they hear me. When they're rehearsing
really cool.
The following set.
Like you said, Chaz, man, he's a smart guy. Put it all, that's the way to keep the connection while you're over there. That's awesome.
So how are you enjoying the Helix?
Yeah. Oh, I love the Helix, man. I love it.
Have you tried tried the Kemper ever?
No. I'm a research guy. I'm very analytical. So I was going through researching the Kemper, and what I found the strengths of the Kemper to be is that if you are an amp guy, if you're a tube guy or whatever, and you want to go over and you want to put your mic down, you want to take an SM58 and put it on a cone, around the damn. I don't give a fuck about all that. I mean, honestly, I have a certain tone, but it's like I would sit down when I had my Digitech, and I would build like 5 different patches. I was like, I got these 5 patches, and I would play them, and Jay would stand over there, and I'd say, listen to this one, and I'd jam on it, and I'd play the next one. He would look at me and say, they all sound the fucking same. No, man, that one's got, instead of using chorus, I put some flanger in this one, and then on this one I use reverb instead of digital. So I'm changing shit around, thinking I'm recreating the world like I've just got this whole different. And no, I've got a signature tone that is just me, and I like it. But the Helix allows me to do that. I get the exact tone I want, and I'm happy. So,
what you get the tone that you're hearing in your head. That's what I like about the Kemper.
Yeah, exactly. I can listen to it and I can walk away, because I was real bad about it on the Digitech. The Digitech, which is only a $500 piece of shit, but I would listen to something And then I would come back the next day and listen to it, be like, what the fuck is wrong? And I'm checking the
How
batteries.
did my ears like that?
Yeah.
I used to have a
Well,
digital.
what is that?
Yeah. Very digital sounding, no doubt. Very.
You know what I really like about the Helix is the gating. You can put 15 gates in the damn thing, parallel, series, whatever you want, but the gating on it is so easy to get in with your attack and your release. It's just so easy. So it literally takes me about a minute and a half if I build a new patch to get the gates in right how I want. The one thing I haven't figured out on it is how to get the volume down, but that's because I'm playing back through a USB cord into the computer. So I'm sure it's going to be much different once I get back and
live feed out of it.
System.
Yeah, I hear
you.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what that sounds like.
No doubt. Do you have some like studio monitors you're listening through when you do your tracking and all that? Or are you doing headphones mainly? Yeah, headphones.
Yeah.
That's tricky, yeah, because once you get it out of there, speakers don't respond the same as they do in here, like a real speaker moving in your car per se, or a stereo system. It mixing is it's a nightmare sometimes getting it right.
Well, that's the other thing I like about the Helix is that the Helix is linked to my laptop, so my laptop has got all my patches saved in it. So I was actually going to buy a second Helix, and when I was thinking I was going to come back for Rockville, we had a pre-Rockville party we were going to put on in Daytona that I'd set up with Eve to Adam and a bunch of other bands to play down at Daytona. So we had that show, and which, by the way, I think if Rockville happens this next year, Richie put me in touch with Les. Les put me in touch with the DWP guys, and so I've got the bead on doing the official Rockville pre-party in 2021.
Awesome,
so I've got to contact them when I get back. So I'm going to go ahead and produce that show. And that's primarily why I came out here, to be honest. I do produce as well, and as I get older, that's what I plan on doing is being a promoter. But I've got to try to figure out how to get people to understand this message that I keep getting sent out. And I'm probably going to get bricks thrown at me for this, but this message I keep getting sent out about support local music. My response to that is, why? Give them a fucking reason to support local music. That's like saying, hey, I've got a shitty bar. I got a shitty bar.
Come check out my shitty shit, instead of giving them like, hey, give them something to talk about, of course. Yeah, why are they going to come see you if you ain't
just
wowing
because,
them?
you play an instrument.
Yeah, I mean, you got so many bands. I would say 90% of your bands, the guys are getting up there in blue jeans and they're running shoes, and it looks like they're in their fucking garage just on a band, just on a stage.
Well,
and you're wanting people to buy $10 for a ticket to come in and see you. Give them a show, man. They came in to see something they haven't seen.
We try to cover that.
You guys do an excellent job.
We put on a
You guys got me started on this whole light kick. I remember playing with you guys in Mavericks.
It's pieces,
and you guys had
you got to
you guys did a song in Mavericks.
Going.
Absolutely, you guys did. We played with you guys with Soul Switch and Breaking Through and Mavericks a few years ago, and you guys blew me away when I came out in front of the stage, and all I could see was these fucking lights everywhere coming off the stage.
That was Rob here.
Like, holy
Rob
shit.
York hit the lights, buddy. He hooked us up.
Like, what the fuck? Did Bon Jovi show up? What the hell's going on in this place?
That's right. Jeremy, man. He likes the show, man.
I'm
gets
about
the show going.
I grew up, in the '80s, and my dad and uncles were all in bands, and it was an experience,
spectacle, man.
Like you said, you don't want to show up and see a guy in freaking blue jeans and cut off shorts. I mean, you want to show, you want to get the audio, you want to get the visual. When you get all that going on, you blow their mind.
Give them something to talk about.
So you got to cover all the bases,
exactly. Well, nobody wants to come see you up there with your nasty ass toes and some fucking flippy flops like the Beach Boys standing up there playing some metal.
Yeah, it's genre specific. I guess that would work in reggae or other things, but not our game. Our game is different. It is.
Yeah. That's the hard part, is trying to talk to people when they keep coming to me and saying, hey, I want to manage your band or whatever. I'm like, we're fine.
Yeah.
But, if you want to help get us shows, then I'm all about, show sharing and things like that.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And that's something we need to talk about once we get kicking off, is that, we can do some shows where we can kick off for a weekend and say, go from Jacksonville to Orlando, and line it up with Tim Hall in Jacksonville, and then get a hold of Clint Pinder down in Orlando, or maybe even go down to the Keys, not the Keys, but West Palm, and play down there. But I think I'd love to get together with some bands and do that kind of thing, just a little weekend tour.
Yeah,
Bloodbath would be a great Key West band, to be honest with you.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think once we get things moving again here, there's going to be a lot of pent up, angsty people ready to rock. Basically, they haven't had shows in so long, so it'll be easy to get booked, I would imagine.
So stay tuned for some Bleeding in Stereo and Bloodbath and Beyond shows, folks. You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, a weekend of blood.
There you go.
How much blood can a blood shed blood if you...
Oh, you didn't.
Bloodshed. Sorry. Bass players. Turn me down.
That's what's hilarious is some fucker will see Bleeding in Stereo with Bloodbath and Beyond. And all these goth people are going to show up and they're going to get Simple Man and fucking Dark Horse.
They're going to throw fucking body parts at us and boo us.
Like, what the hell?
Mosh to this spider in the window.
We got you in the door, didn't we? Drink a little bit. You might like it.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to try somehow, man. You got to yank them in.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's you guys are doing a great job. I mean, I've watched your other casts that you've done, and they're fun.
Well, we're just trying to be real, man.
Well, I think you've got to take this opportunity. You've got to take this opportunity to keep your name in front of people because people are eating it up.
Right.
And that's it.
It's easy to get consumed.
Stay engaged.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. World's not over. We're just in a weird state. That's all. We're staying busy.
That's it. Well, that's why we've been working. When I get back, we're going to be doing Cool for the Summer, and I think Lights is the other one. We got a couple of videos coming out to follow up to Hold It Against Me, which everything got put on hold because I left to come out here. And the reason I left to come out here is primarily two things. One, I wanted to get new gear because I got to have some lights, man. I need those lights. And the second thing is I wanted to have the money. Instead of fucking around with Bruce or Tim or whatever, I want to have the money to say, you know what? I want to do a show, and I'm going to take $20,000 and I'm going to sink into the show, and I'm going to bring in Drowning Pool. I'm going to bring in Saliva or whatever. I'm going to hire this band. I'm going to be the producer.
Dude,
Blacklist.
We have
get Joe James to work his ass off on it, and we're going to produce our own show. And then I'm going to put and then that's the way to get the band scene. Then I'll put Bloodbath right before them, and have Saliva in Orlando, Bloodbath and Beyond, and two other bands, and then sell tickets to the damn thing, make some money, turn that $20,000 into $30,000 or $40,000.
Yeah,
and do it again.
If you got the money up front to do that, that is a great way to go because you're, controlling your destiny in that way instead of, trying to, hope you get the slot out of 30 other bands trying to open for that band. We've had that same thought. Take. Just, hey, how much does it cost to have this band come and play? Let's get their manager involved and
$5,000.
Get the number.
Well, sorry. How much is it for Rob's stage? Which, Rob, by the way, here at the Lights has a semi out back with a Rockville style stage. It's pretty awesome. Legit, man. So keep that in mind.
But that's what people have to realize, though, is that if you have the money to walk into a place, and if I can pack 1,000 people into this place by bringing 7 Dust in, 1,000, 1,500 people, if I can pack 1,000 people in there, I'm not paying for the goddamn stage. I'm not paying this guy. So if I do pay for it, then he's going to be paying me to sell alcohol, because you're not going to have me lease your building and then turn around and make money on my show without giving me some throwback. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This whole concept that Jacksonville and some parts of Florida have going for them is absolutely ridiculous. And the cool thing is, it's like Jason over at 1904. He's real good about it. I mean, he'll charge you up to a point. That's the same thing I got with Blackhawks. Blackhawks, he would charge me up to a point. But if we got, say, 100 people through the door, I kept the door. And if I got over, say, 200 people or 250 people in the door 1904, I kept the door. And that happened quite a few times.
How many people can you fit in Blackhawks?
Blackhawks, probably 120.
120 people in Blackhawks.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably 120. I mean, he doesn't have sprinklers, or he didn't, but I don't think he did. But
Blackhawks,
we fit. But when we had Kill the Sound, we had Filth, we had us, we had some other bands in there. We came away pretty well. I think we made about $800 at the door.
Oh wow!
So it came out pretty well.
Jeremy was picking on you, Brad.
I was not. I was just wondering how many people can really fit on.
No, when you said Black Hawks, it sounds like you're saying something else.
Well, it sounds like the H was silent.
Yeah.
So, how many people can you fit on the Black?
Sorry, I didn't want you to know.
I'm over
here laughing.
That reminds me of that picture you see coming out of Jacksonville Beach, where these 3 fat girls are standing out there for Black Lives Matter, and they've got this big sign that says BBC Matters. I fell out.
Yes, that's amazing.
That tells you all you need to know about Jacksonville, too. Yeah.
Well, but see, then it tells on you, and you start laughing about it. They're like, I don't get it. Well, you got to watch porn, I guess.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
Grandma,
how do you know
what does BBC mean?
Yeah, okay.
Well, so in my day, I meant big black cocks.
Big.
But yeah, getting back to shows and all that, Bruce Cataldo has ran deals with me before doing her own shows, just pay for the facility, you keep the door kind of thing, and it was, that's a good, relationship.
Yeah, Tim Hall takes care of us too on our annual Christmas show, Not So Silent Night. He'll work it out where we get to keep 50%, or even last year it was almost 80%. So then you're able to pay the bands and then pocket a little bit and pay for the lights and all that good stuff.
Well, when you start going into a place though, like there's a place called the Bank down in Daytona, that I like a lot. But I made some good this past Rockville building that up. I've made some good connections down there, so I've got the management team, in email and talk to the owners quite often. Excuse me. And they own 4 or 5 of the bars on Main Street. The other thing is I've gotten with the Hog, which is the radio station down there, and I understand exactly now what I can look forward to as far as expensing, how many slots I can get for a week of radio shows and all that, and even get to a live broadcast from the site. So if I go marching my little ass into for $10,000 or $15,000 and say I want that venue and I want this and I want that and I want to get drowning pool in here and I want to get leading in stereo down here and I want to get no self and all this kind of shit, and I want to put on an event.
No self is very
because everything I do isn't going to be just around Bloodbath and beyond. I've got to be wise about it. Otherwise, I'll get a bad reputation. But,
no,
and I don't even want to just stick with
thing.
I don't want to just do metal and rock either. I would like to put on reggae shows. I'd like to put on pop shows.
I've always wanted to do a show like that. Have a rock band, a reggae band, a pop band. Just have a whole variety. Because when you're hanging out drinking, you're not listening to just this or just that.
It's kind of like Coachella, Lollapalooza. They did that. They mixed genres very.
It creates a vibe,
But let's say I turn around and I say, fuck it, I'm going to put $30,000 into it. I hire Aaron Lewis to come in and do a country show, and I hire, Jerry Seibel to come up and open for him, and I hire a couple other bands.
Brett Myers.
And I put on a country show.
You made a very valid point there. You made a valid point there with Jerry.
His last name.
He messaged me, by the way, and it was, if you watched the last podcast, we were trying to figure out, was it Sybil or Seibel? And he said it's Seibel like a Bible.
Seibel like a Bible.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a class act. I like him. I like
Jerry.
him a lot.
He's a great guy.
Jerry helped us out a lot when we first got going, just by being a hell of a gentleman and kind of showing us that the shitbags we were dealing with weren't really the norm. And there's one other guy I got a shout out to, because he was a guy. This guy, when I say his name, you guys will laugh, but because you'll laugh because you'll be like, oh yeah, no shit, you leaned into that guy. But he showed up over at Monkey's Butthole or Monkey's Uncle or whatever the fuck that bar is called.
All right.
He showed up over there and sat there for 2 hours drinking beer. I wasn't even buying the beer. The dude was buying his own beers, by the way. But he sat there for 2 hours and basically introduced us to the Jacksonville rock scene and told us what we needed to do and gave us a lot of good insight. But Hayden Vega was just instrumental with helping us out.
Hayden is a sweetheart, bro.
And even
Serious.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's the nicest dude you'll ever meet. He really is.
But he drove all the way down from Fernandina just to meet our dumbasses out over at Monkey's Butthole and hang out and talk, and I just thought the world of him for that.
No, he was a good example of what the scene should be like. You know what I mean?
What
when
it was.
comes to relations between bands and helping each other make a scene rather than competing for the top slot. You know what I mean? We really don't like that model. I mean, that was why when we do a Not So Silent Night, we never really put ourselves at the top. We try to put ourselves somewhere in the middle so we can bring in bands and spotlight them, you know what I mean, rather than ourselves.
Spot, yeah.
And reaching out Orlando, into Georgia for silent running up there. We get them coming down and just try to get everybody around it to have a good time, man. You know what I mean?
Create a family. That's what it's about.
Yeah. But we got to remember, though, everybody is so afraid of doing the business end of things. I mean, until you get it, let's face it, okay, I'm just going to be frank.
No,
if you have a band called Scooby-Doo's Numbnuts, and Scooby-Doo's Nuts can drag in 10 fucking people through the door, then why am I paying them $100 to play? Fuck that.
Yeah.
Do your time, cut your teeth. Bloodbath, I'll tell you what, Bloodbath, we've probably been paid maybe 10 times in 4 years to even say, yes, we got paid. Matter of fact, we went and did a show down in Orlando, and we didn't draw a very good crowd at all. I mean, there's probably 20 people in the fucking place. And Clint Piner is apologizing to me left and right because it was raining, it sucked. There was 20 people, worst show we've ever had in Orlando. Usually we do really well down in Orlando. But we were passing through, we did this show, and Clint comes over to me with the entire door and is just going to give it to me. And I said, I'm not taking a dime because we don't need it. I have money, and I'll take care of the guys. But we don't need it. And until we can cut our teeth and walk in a place and say, we're good for 50, 60 people just by our name alone.
Yeah.
Until we can do that, then why would I even consider taking money for it? You know what I mean? Fuck that. You've got to have those promoters making money to be able to keep doing more shows. And bands screaming about getting paid, well, do something worthy of getting paid.
Let's talk on that real quick. Promoters. Like, do you need them? Or are they just kind of preying on the weak bands that don't know the ropes yet?
Okay, let me ask you this. What is a promoter doing?
Exactly. What do promoters here do? I mean, they take not a whole lot. They take your name and they make money on it, and they expect you to do the promotion and you to bring the people and you do this and you do that, and they sit back and drink alcohol and watch your band and take pictures and post it on the internet about their experience.
And
some
that's
of that
why That's why I like Tim Hall, because Tim Hall knows
is the man.
That Joe James and I own Blacklist Entertainment. That's Joe James and my baby.
Yeah,
and that thing is going to get rolling next year. Part of the reason why I'm here. But Joe and I'm gonna put Joe to work, but Joe and I are going to make that happen. But Tim Hall would call me up, and I really love that guy. He would call me up and say, "Hey, do you guys want to fill a show for me on December?" Yeah. Bloodbath and Beyond, and can you pick some other bands? I'll help you get them.
Well, he's an actual venue owner. Yeah, he's a great example of what promoters should be. But we're talking like
he would either put it together, or I would bring bands to him and put the show together. And then if the show did well, if there was people in there, man, there was money coming out of that bar to us to pay us, and then they would pay the other bands. Mm-hmm. I love that about him. I thought that was aces about that guy. I got nothing but good things to say about Tim. Now, you talk to me about Bruce Cataldo, and I don't give a shit if he's listening or not. I had 2 dealings with him, and both of them went south. And
now we're in the realm.
I don't need him.
We're getting closer to the realm of. And Bruce was good and bad at different bands.
He was a roller coaster at times.
But there's other even less than Bruce used to even own a club, so I don't really quite consider him the type of promoter I'm thinking of. I'm talking about the people that are just a fan, and all of a sudden now, because they were in the circle, now are promoting shows of their own, and those kind of promoters.
Well, I'm not going to mention names. I think we all can agree on a few of them, but we don't need to go down that road because they've got fans of their own, and I wish them all the best, and I hope they learn their lessons and stop being dicks and actually start treating the scene as it's supposed to be treated. That's as a business. If they treat it as a business and they start training and teaching and mentoring bands on how to deal with the business, then they're going to make the scene better. But as long as they just keep running at the door, 10 minutes before the door closes, they're gone.
Yeah. Well,
that's not the way to do business.
And the respect out before paying and all that.
As far as the bands go, just like you said, earn it. Give them a show, and then all the other things will come. After you put the work in to give. You're an entertainment. That's what you were doing. You're entertaining people.
There's a band out now that I won't say I'm really into their music, but I love their energy. I think it's Dancing with Ghosts.
Oh, they're great. Yes. And
I'll tell you right now that the thing that I appreciate about those two is that they don't, there's something to be said. A lot of bands could come out right now and say, well, how the hell are we supposed to have all these lights? Because, a good light kit's going to cost you $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
With the controller and then having the guy over there that learns the shit, that understands your songs and exactly what to do and all this
get
kind
a
of crap.
program.
It's going to cost money.
Yeah.
Or program, on time with Cubase or something. But that costs money and it takes time. And so you're not going to come right out of your garage doing that. And a lot of people are just doing well, but pay $100 or whatever they're paying for a practice place. But there's other things you can do. And those two right there are showcasing it. They take a freaking computer monitor and they set it on stage. She sets her computer up and they get up there and they play their asses off. They paint their faces. They get up there and do their thing. She does her set. He gets over there and plays. It's a show, man.
Yeah. I'd marry both of them, by the way. Like they can both. I'd marry both of them as a joint marriage.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, they're very creative and they stay to their guns. You know what I mean? They know what they're after, and they give, if you will, like taste buds. They give us that portion of your taste buds in the music genre. You know what I mean? And they're very good at what they do.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. And when you see somebody like that coming out and they want a little bit of your time, you're more than happy to. Fallen Sons is the same way. Fallen Sons, those gentlemen have done remarkably well in what they've been doing and what they have. And I can't say enough good things about them. That had a couple of dickweeds in there that I wasn't too fond of that I'd like to throw off a building. But for the most part, those kids are pretty good kids.
Yeah, I've heard some of their newer stuff being here to hit the lights, and it's actually pretty dang good. They're playing in odd time signatures and actually holding it.
Yep.
And they've come a long way from when I first saw them to a couple of years. So shout out to them guys. Keep up the hard work. The vets were listening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, I'd like to see Silent Running do something. There's a song. So, Garrett, if you're listening, I asked you for the damn thing before I left for Iraq, you prick, and you still haven't put it out. So I want the damn thing.
We'll tag him whenever we put this up. We'll tag him in it.
If you guys hear
He will hear it.
They're one of my favorite. They're one of my top 5 probably local regional bands that I've heard. Kellen Heller, Silent Running, you guys, Staying the Angel.
Silent Running slams. Them guys are energetic and just punchy.
Really
just
punchy.
So good.
Something about
if you're a Seven Dust fan, you have to like.
You have brothers in a band.
If you like Seven Dust, you have to like Silent Running.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Very much.
Like I say, something about the brothers, the drummer guitar combo. You got Van Halen, you got Pantera, and then you got Silent Running, right?
They're brothers and cousins, correct? Like the brothers.
I believe so. I don't know. I can't confirm, but
let's talk about Kellen Heller. Have you ever heard Ephraim talk? Have you ever heard his voice? That's an ongoing question.
Yeah, I've talked to him quite a bit, actually.
Dude, he is holding out on us.
He's
won't let go.
That showmanship to the T. I mean, you talk about a great showman, Ephraim, dude.
He does.
I love you, man. You are one top-notch performer.
Yeah, 100%.
Ephraim is trying very hard to keep his who he is hidden from the rest of the world. He wants to make his new success based off of what he is now, not what he used to be. And I think the world of the guy. He is hilarious.
Yes, for sure, man.
Oh yeah,
his ability is good.
Well, he's got a heart of gold, and I will tell you one thing about him. that most people don't know, and he won't care that I tell you this.
Spoilers.
He is a huge, well, two things I'll tell you. He's a huge Randy Rhoads fan.
Oh, hell yes.
And he loves bluegrass. He loves bluegrass. You start getting him. If you walk up to him and start a conversation or try to get a conversation going with him on bluegrass, I promise you he will crack.
No. So does he like to play bluegrass or just listen to it?
Play it.
Play it. Good. Awesome. It.
Bluegrass is an extremely tough genre.
The finger picking.
Chicken picking.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it'll give you a workout. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a pretty amazing. Matter of fact, we're very close with the guys from Kellen Heller. I appreciate them very much. But Brandon Moore, their bass player, he's the guy that does all of our mastering for Bloodbath.
We
send our stuff to him. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Bass players. Give me some reverb.
Say it again.
Bass players.
We got a little reverb knob over here. You'll hear it in the podcast when it's put back together.
You got a knob over there, all right?
Yeah.
It's called Jeremy.
He's holding off now on the button pushing, so we'll see.
I haven't taken any shots, so I'm at bay here.
He would actually have to minimize you to do that anyway.
So I went and stole a pick from Silent Running came in and played, so I ran up there and stole a pick.
Look at it.
And I'm still using the same damn picks. As a matter of fact, I have a bunch of custom picks now. They're all white with Bloodbath and Beyond on one side. And because I got tired of trying to sign my name with a fucking Sharpie on a pick, which is almost impossible. So I had them engrave it on the back of the pick. So now the two people that actually want one, I can give it to them.
Gotcha. Is that like a Jazz 3 type of size pick, or is that a little bigger than that?
It's a 1.14.
Okay.
I've tried the whole pick throwing thing, and I actually just I'll hit them in the eyeball, or they just never see it come. They're like, "The fuck is a bass player doing throwing a pick?" Yeah. So I try not to do that no more.
Secret be known, the light show is to distract how awkward we actually are.
Absolutely. Silhouettes, no weird bass faces. You can't capture
Well, speaking of Silent Running, one of these days when I get back, I'm gonna get you guys to help me out. When Garrett gets up there and plays, we're going to take his tuner away from him. The fucker tunes. He tunes 5 times during the song.
And he's kind of like me, I guess. Whenever the verses come, he kind of backs out on guitar, but tuning, yeah. I do it if I hear it. I don't do it like as a muscle memory thing.
Better we need to get him a tuner lock.
Yeah.
Schmack.
One of those Evertune bridges. That's what they're called. Yeah.
My uncle's got a guitar that I've inherited. It's been in tune for like 8 years.
Awesome.
It's there.
Yeah, whatever bridge he's using.
It's an old. I don't even know. I brought it to the band room once.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Now, if I can give you anything, have you guys ever used Plek Pro before? You ever done the Plek Pro on any of your instruments?
No. You mean the Plek? Is it like on the neck?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. I had Sweetwater do a custom Schecter for me that I had brought out from a friend of mine that came out here to Iraq and then dropped it off. The frickin' thing is gorgeous. I mean, I love it. They routed out a battery box in the back because I like the EMG 8185s. So they put the EMGs in it for me.
Gotcha.
I had to do the Plek Pro, tune it to drop C because of Eve's Witness.
Mm-hmm.
And but I've got it tuned down to A, and it hasn't lost a thing. And it is like butter. I mean, it is like I got big hands anyway, but this thing is like butter.
Dude, that Plek system is definitely worth the money because, like you're saying, you can have bass strings, but with that Plek system, it's the action is so good. Even though you're using fat strings, man, you're just like butter. It's good.
Well, that's why I have to jump from. I jump up to 56 is what I use for playing A and B tuning, and that keeps the tension on there. So I guess that's why it's still staying set with what the 52s were at C. So it's but yeah, I'm a believer. I'm taking every freaking guitar I got when I get home. I'm sending it off to Sweetwater and saying just.
How much does that cost? By the way, I've never done that. So
I think it was $125.
It's not
round trip, there and back.
Yeah, I don't know. No, see, I ordered a guitar brand new from them.
I got you.
So I think it was like $99 and some other shit plus tax. But I had them do that. It's got the reverse neck on it. I had to put the battery box in. I had to put the EMGs, the plecking, all that bullshit done to the guitar.
Cool.
But I bought it straight from them.
If you could have any guitar sponsorship, just say, who might that be? What's your go-to instrument of choice, brand of choice?
I would have one time I would have said ESPs, but now I'm going to have to say Schecter. I really like the Schecters.
Dude, they are.
I like saying really Schecter. Good. It rolls off the pretty good.
It rhymes with sphincter. That's why you like it.
Schecter, yeah, sphincter. Yeah, it does. I like that.
I've had 5 Schecters, and every damn one of them, the tonality that I was getting out of them was exactly what I wanted. It just matched what I was trying to achieve.
Hell yeah!
So Schecter, if you hear that, hook our man up. He's over in Iraq doing things.
Yeah, man.
Get him something.
Get a Schecter sponsor on that next.
Yeah.
Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a PRS guy. Obviously, that's where I've been. So.
And I promise, Schecter, if you hook me up, I'll even do Yay videos for you. I got a new Schecter. Yay!
Yay! There it is. Man. Yay movement. And if you haven't known, he is the leader of the Yay movement.
Yeah.
The Yay movement. That's it.
Indulge into that, all the negativity going on. You try and just create some happiness and positivity out there,
Hey, man, as entertainers, it's our job to make people, smile or forget about their, bullshit for just a little bit. So, while I'm over here, I thought what I can do to stay engaged. There's 2 things going on here, Jeremy. I'm a former Marine, all right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to let this out for you. I'm 51 years old.
What? No shit.
Yep,
I can edit that out.
And
he's 51 years old.
And so one of the things that I found when I came back in 2015 is I don't believe, I know I'm going to take some shit for this, but I don't believe in the widespread PTSD thing that we've got going on right now. I believe that some people have issues. Yes, I do. But I've spent 14 years of my life in war zones between contracting and the whole 9 yards. And I don't ever come home wanting to beat the shit out of small children or smack women around or any of that crap. But when I came back in 2015, I was so locked on, and I had this resting bitch face that people would just say, you look at this big guy over here and you say, yeah, I don't fuck with him. But you would look at me at only 212 pounds and you say, I'm not fucking with that guy. And I didn't want that. I wanted people not to come fuck with me, but I wanted people to approach me because now I was a guitar player in a band. And I didn't want kids afraid of me. I didn't want women freaking out. I didn't want guys that were going, that dude's fucking crazy.
Didn't you have a big beard?
Yeah. When I came back, I had a big-ass Afghanistan-like beard.
Hell yeah.
And so, anyway, I just decided, the thing about it is people, I was blessed with some teeth, and they're white. So people like a smile. And so when I came out this time, I'm out here now. I'm the deputy director of public works. So I work for a pretty large company, and I'm out here closing a base down now. I'm leading a team of guys out here now to close this place down. But I do a professional job. I'm a businessman, and so I'm a deputy director of public works, and I carry a lot of responsibility with that. So it's a lot of stress.
Sure.
On this budget here, we're doing $17 million worth of audit right now, and I chiseled that down with my guys. I should say I didn't do shit. My guys chiseled that down. So today I was able to get back to corporate and say, okay, we chiseled the $17 million loss down to $22,000.
Wow.
So they came back today and they were like, you guys are fucking awesome. But that's what we do. And so
another reason
after I finish this mission
endorsement.
Sure.
But so the thing is, I told Chaz and the guys I didn't want to lose who I'd become. I tapped into who I was as a kid, and I really tapped into that because I went and saw one of my daughters. I've got 2 little girls. One's 30 and one's 20. But I went and saw my daughter in Nashville, and I used to remember she would do these things, and I would say, hey, Lakin, do you want some ice cream? She'd go, yeah. And I'd say, let's go get ice cream. And she'd go, yay.
Yeah.
And and then we would eat, and I would sit there and I'd eat, and I'd make her laugh because I'd go, "You like it?" She'd say, "Yeah." I say, "This is delicious." And she goes, "It is delicious." And so it started resonating in my head, and I started thinking, when I act like a little kid, and when I kind of dived back into what I was doing when I was a little kid, when I would do all this crazy shit like, "Yay, and delicious, and I like fun,"
eccentric,
and all this shit.
And reactions,
Yeah, you see this 6'2", 220-pound tattooed freak standing there going, "Yay!" And you're not really sure. Okay, do I trust this guy? But so if you keep doing it though, after a while, people don't look at you like you're weird anymore, and they go, "Yay!"
Hey,
and
why not?
That's what I want. That's what I want. So part of it's for me. I don't suck back into being such a dick, and part of it's to keep people engaged with me, so that when I come back and I try to market certain things and they say, "This guy was funny," or "He made me laugh," or whatever. I've been following him on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, and I want to see what he's about when he comes back. And so I come back and I put on some quality shows. The bands are quality. What I'm doing with our band is quality, and I continue not being a dick. So that's the whole reason for all
nice.
Shit.
So speaking of coming back, when are you coming back? Do you have a date for that yet, or?
I don't. I don't really know when I'm going to be able to leave here. Right now, here is not where Taji's at, where I'm out of. So it looks like here in another 2 or 3 weeks, we should be able to leave this place. I'll have to go back and I'll have to sit in a chew for about 2 weeks in isolation.
Sure.
That's going to piss me off. But I'll have to go back there and sit for 2 weeks. And I just told him, I said, "Look, you motherfuckers better bring my computer, my guitar, lots of cheeseburgers."
And keep the fucking crickets.
Swamp them down with some cheeseburgers, man. Yeah.
But I've been going to this gym. When I got here, I left at 196 pounds when I left.
Okay.
When I left Jacksonville. But see, the funny part is I weighed 245 when I got there in 2015. I was just a big hoss. And, not as big as Jeremy, but I was a big hoss for me. But when I got there, literally, when I got there, I was bench pressing right around 425. So I was a big guy.
Yeah.
And so then I trimmed down. But what happened was I started smoking weed. This is a great plug for weed people. So I started smoking weed. And when I started smoking weed, I started saying, "Well, you know what? This is great. It calms me. It helps me chill. Because I have a tendency to, I don't like people walking up thanking me for my service, because to me, it's just kind of bullshit. When I decided to come do this, none of them were in my thoughts. But their tax money was.
It does take a certain type of man to do what you do, man. And,
Yeah, but
whatever.
But brother, we're talking 200,000 plus a year.
Yeah, but
that's why he's got 17 trips there,
you're
ladies.
putting a lot
you hear
on
that?
the line,
wink, wink. He's ready for some peaches when he comes home.
You're putting a lot on the line, though.
Yeah, you got to get the peach.
Well, that's why I'm going to that fucking gym over here. When I got here, so I left Jacksonville at 196 pounds because I quit drinking alcohol in February of 2018. Because I'd smoked weed, then I drank, and then I puked my guts out. And I thought, okay, I can only do one or the other. Okay. So I just left on with weed. And then I found that if you are smoking a little weed and then you take one of these and drink it, you don't get the munchies.
Really?
Oh.
And so, And so then I'm such a nasty prick. I'm a bachelor. So I just bought a 4Runner. And Zach and Chaz and Jay would come out when I'd show up on Saturdays, and they would open up the back door and look in my truck and see like 6 or 7 of those Speedway cheeseburgers sitting in the back seat because, well, they give them to you for free. You get one of those little Speedway cards. I always fill up through the week. And then you go in there and you got like all these credits. And you're like, yay, I'll get some cheeseburgers because they're pretty delicious.
I'm going to have to start shopping at Speedway.
Yeah. Sure. I didn't know that. Perks.
Well, so I come out here, I stopped smoking weed, and guess what? 4 weeks ago, I weighed in, I was 227. I was like, fuck. So I started going to the gym. Well, the gym, it's 125 degrees outside today. I think it was 136 in the gym because we don't have air conditioning.
Louise.
And when I walked out, I got cold, just to tell you how hot it was. So I go in there for about 45 minutes a day is about all you can stand. And so I go in there, sweat my nuts off, and then come back out. So now I'm down to 217. And if I got another 2 weeks here, I should be down to 212. And then 2 weeks in solitary, I'll just sit there with my little yoga mat.
Use body weight, yeah. That's all you got.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys will see you guys will be getting TikTok videos of me running around the fucking room. You know?
See if you can do a backflip off the wall, man. That'll be a challenge, you know.
Handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good challenge, no doubt.
No doubt. You know what? I'm just sitting here having fun talking to you guys, forgetting that we're recording this and people are going to see this shit, and now they're going to look at this one. No, the jury's in. He's a fucking Fruit Loop.
Yeah,
hey, I'd rather be loved for who I am or hated for who I am instead of loved for who I'm not, I guess, however it goes.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, that's awesome. We haven't actually sat down this long and talked in person before, so this is really cool to get to know you better than, you know, even before you left.
That big 6 foot scary monster that towers on the stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. That's what we don't want. You know, the whole thing being scary. That there was a matter of fact, that show that we did with you guys, what we did with Breaking Through, the turning point for me that really stuck with me was that show. Because that show, I was upstairs. Remember, we had our sponsor that was kind of overstepping her bounds. It wasn't a sponsor. It was a lady that was with the sponsor.
Was it a whiskey thing? Was it a whiskey sponsor?
Yeah, it was rum. Rum.
Okay,
rum.
Yeah.
Rum. Yeah. And they had taken the VIP seating right up above the stage. They had the author of The Running Man up there. Had a bunch of strippers and dancers and shit like that up there.
We remember.
Security was all over the place. And so they were our sponsor, and they tried to make it all about us. And we were like, no. They had a radio spot come out that was like Bloodbath and Beyond and these other guys. And we were like, what? No, you're going to, can't do that. But so they changed it. But the owner of Gubba Rum actually changed it because I appealed to him. The manager at the time, she told me to fuck off, and that's the way things run.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you don't understand. It's not our show.
From our perspective, we didn't look at it bad. I mean, obviously, we realized what was happening. You know what I mean? It was kind of out of your hands, and that's what you know what I mean? Nobody was butthurt.
Well, I went to I appreciate that, but I went to the owner and told him, you know, I mean, at the time, you got to remember also, I came to Jacksonville because I was a project manager out the naval base.
Okay.
And so I was making a 6-figure income when I came back. I've never been in a position where I've needed somebody else's money. I'm a businessman. You want to come sponsor my band and give us $200 and your product's decent. It's not something that's like, you know, bad for people or just, you know, derogatory or something, then I'm game. But, you know, I'm all for not spending $200 of my money and spending $200 of your money. But if you're going to come and do that and then you're going to make me out to look like an asshole, you can go on down the road.
Sure.
And so that's what I went and told him about. And he's an absolute gentleman, great guy. So he put a stop to it, called Cox Media and said, we're not doing this. You need to showcase Breaking Through and Bleeding in Stereo and Soul Switch and these other bands. Bloodbath is one of the openers. So we're going to just say their name and then Gubba Rum. And that's what they did in the end. So I was thankful for that.
Well, that shows your character.
Back to the story. Well, no, it's just it would have been a suicide trip. Are you kidding me? That's stupid. You guys are beloved, and we need you, and we needed you then, and we need you in the future. You guys have been around for 10 years, I believe.
Yep, this is our decade right now.
Yeah. So if I want my projects to do well in town, I would be well versed to have good friends like you that I don't fuck over, and that I treat right and with respect and show people how loyalty is done. But back to the story. That. So I'm upstairs. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. So I'm upstairs, and the security lady shows up, and I'm sitting up there talking, and I think Soul Switch was playing, and I came downstairs because the security lady came and says, "There's a little boy downstairs. You just got to have your autograph." I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I came downstairs. Now things have been going really fast for us. Tank had us on 102.9. You know, we had played the last show of Harmonious Monks with Jason Todd from Shinedown. Okay, he jumped on stage with us and did Fly from the Inside.
Hell yeah.
That was crazy. We had a flash mob happen at you know, so we had a phenomenal couple of first years. So that was just kind of part of it. So I went downstairs to meet this kid, and he was one of our Facebook fans' mom. He was one of her children, and so we came downstairs, and I met this little boy. He's a cute little guy, and he had this big poster, and I could see he had one of Zach's drumsticks, and he had this poster of us, on there. And so I got in there, and I was talking to him, and I signed his thing, and I tried to talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to me, and he was just looking at me like, ah. And so I signed. You want me to sign it here? Yeah, okay. And I, said some dumb shit to him and said hi to his mom, and we took a selfie and all this crap. And I'm walking off, and I look back, and I see this little boy, and he's looking at his mom, and I see him doing this. Now, I always wear beads, I always wear all this stuff, this kind of crap on me. And I'll wear Hindi beads, and I'll wear, different things, because I'm trying to show that I can wear any type of religious artifact, and I'm not going to die or blow up. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. Everybody's good. It's one isn't worse than the other. Or one isn't better than the other. If you're Muslim, if you're Christian, if you're Hindi, that comes from my experience of traveling the world and realizing that there's a lot of similarities in religion. But that's not where this story's going. So I turn around, and I see this little boy, and he's crying. And I had these Hindi beads around my neck. And so I pulled them off, and I walked back, and I said, I think these look a lot better on you. And I wrapped them around his neck. I patted him on the head and left. 2 days later, I see on Facebook his mom jumping on there, just raving about how her son was treated so well, and she just loved us, and blah, blah, blah. And awesome. I pulled that out, and I showed that to the guys, and I said, every fucking time, I don't care if 2 hours after a show a fan wants an autograph, we stop, we sign the autograph. Anybody that's not willing to do that can get the fuck out and is not part of this band. Awesome. They all agreed 100%, and that's why I love my guys in Bloodbath, Jay, Zach, and Chaz. They're all like that.
We've had that moment also in our band. Was like, look, this is we're here to for everybody. Not this isn't about us. I mean, we are narcissistic in ways, right? We're musicians, but really as a band, we're trying to encompass people and give them embrace, not standoffish vibes. You know what I mean? Right. Like fans, especially fans, for God's sake. I mean, without them, what are we doing? I mean, we need each other. It's a reciprocal, relationship. So,
you know what? The fans. I am so beholden to the fans there. It blows me away that I can post something stupid to me up there with a crotch cam, and I get 30, 40, 60 likes on Facebook and all these little hearts, but people don't realize that how many times they brought me to tears sitting here. Christmas and rough being away from home, and Jacksonville now is going to be the first place that I can call home, because I haven't had a real home in years. I mean, I was a Marine. My father was 27 years in the Marine Corps, and we moved all the time. I went to 5 different high schools because I failed my senior year. I was such an inbred fucking knucklehead. But I never really felt as an adult that I ever really had a home. And so I came to Jacksonville, and I had all these friends, and I went to Jacksonville Jaguar games, and now I finally had a hometown team I could call my hometown team and friends. And then I'm looking at all these well wishes for my birthday, which I never gave a shit about before. I never really thought about missing a Christmas tree or missing a turkey or anything. But this past year, being out here, I was homesick. I was really, really homesick. And I'd never been like that before. Never been like that. I've been doing this for years and years of my life. But
Jacksonville misses you too, brother. We all do, man. You've been gone quite a while now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's an amazing feeling. I'm telling you right now, it is amazing, and it's a very new feeling for me to have this much emotion about coming home. And that's all I keep saying to people is I want to go home.
I hear you.
I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm ready to go home. So we're almost done, and when we are, I'm getting the hell out of here and coming home. And
you're going to get
wear
that
my mask.
Do you think you'll take another opportunity like you're doing now if it comes up?
No.
You're done?
No.
Getting out?
I'm done.
Okay.
That's
done. Cool.
I'm coming home with the money right now that I don't have to work for the next 2 years if I didn't want to.
Gotcha.
But what I want to do, I've got some investments.
Yes,
I've invested in the stock market because of the COVID.
Yeah.
They're working out very well. But what I want to do is I want to invest get about 3 or 4 good shows and get a good return on my money. And I have a really good beat on how to do that, some locations to do that. It's not just about, it's about timing. It's about what's going on in the area. It's about understanding how to market, and it's understanding the product that you're trying to market. And I've got some pretty good ideas on how I want to do that. And if I can turn my money around, and I've got some things going on with some businesses right now, bars that I'm trying to work with. I've got some folks out on the beach that I'm working with, not just for my band, but for my production side. And that's why I say I'm going to get Joe James to work. And so, Joe, if you're watching this, get your fucking rest, because when I get home, Daddy, we're going to work. And have my Crown Royal bag ready, too.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. It's going to go down. But no, it's really cool, man. Because I guess the COVID thing slowing this whole thing down is like I said before, kind of spring loading it in a way too. Because once it's let loose again, that we can get back to playing shows and doing that thing. There's going to be, I think, a lot of opportunity because they'll be hungry for it. You know,
there will be, but we're going to have to be very smart about it. They're going to have to be very smart about it. It's kind of like staying home and you have $2,000 in your hand. Now, you can run out for the first 2 or 3 weeks, have a great life because you got $2,000. At the end of 2 or 3 weeks, you got nothing.
You're blown out.
Right now, you don't want to overplay. You want to pick your opportunity. You want to, not just go rushing out the first thing you can get. Oh, let's get up there and play. Oh, yeah. Okay, you may have a good night, but what are you doing and where? And that's really the biggest thing, Keith, is that you got to understand where is it that you want to go. And I don't think 99% of the bands understand where this project is going to go.
You definitely need to look forward as far as you can look, and kind of focus that way rather than the things that are happening at the moment. I get what you're saying. Yeah, the projection. It's all about that. Where we go. What's your goal?
Yeah.
How do you get there? I mean, 2 things,
See, my goal for Bloodbath, it's not really for Bloodbath. My goal for a project, whether it's Bloodbath, whether it's Eved Witness, is I would like to get it set up that we can take off and we can go on a couple of tours a year and make the money that we need to make to be able to take off and go play music.
And do that. That's it covers itself, basically, yeah.
Right. So that we've all got dickweed jobs. Maybe I'm owning a bar or doing my production thing, and that affords me the time to take off and with the guys. But, to be able to purchase something like a decent bus, that we could take off and not have hotel expenses. But then you got to look at maintenance expenses of the bus and insurance and all these kinds of things. So really got to look at the return you can get. But,
there's a lot that goes into it, for sure.
Yeah, and then what are you really going to make? If you take off and do weekend tours, then that's going to take a bite into family, and that's where you have to kind of look at, well, for us, it's easy because none of us are family guys. I mean, Jay's married, but he doesn't have any kids.
Yeah.
Zach, Chaz, and myself are all free. We're invalids. So we just... Who the fuck's going to put up with me?
Yeah, we've had to narrow down what shows we would take anyway. We're focused, before this whole thing happened with COVID, we were focusing on festivals and trying to get into that circuit. Even if they were buy-ons and these things, but at least you got it was worth putting the money into because you got good exposure and rubbing elbows, instead of just, beating a dead horse per se at the same clubs all the time. You know what I mean? That's kind of where we were. We're like, nah, we gotta slow down. We're oversaturating ourselves in a way. In this, you know what I mean? Going to the same watering hole.
Yeah, but too much. But that brings up an idea, and I'll talk to you guys offline about an idea for investing into a show.
Okay.
Taking a certain percentage. If you take $30,000 and I invest $20,000, you invest $10,000, then obviously you're going to get a third of that profit back. After we make that initial 30 back, you'll get a third of that profit back. So that may be something that we could consider in the future for doing these things. But instead of buying into somebody else's show, why don't we just put on our own fucking show and let them buy into our show?
Actually, kind of a big number. We can get some pretty. You'd be surprised. $2,500 to $5,000 will get most most popular bands. Now, Seven Dust, they have head count, so I work with their manager, and they want to know where you're at, how many people, and then they give you a number based off a cap.
They have their own, guidelines they go on go off of as far as where they book who.
Like Non-Point and all them, you can get them usually for about $2,500. So.
No, I'm tied into Non-Point and Red Jumpsuit, even though Red Jumpsuit now lives out in California. The biggest thing with the bands right now, to be honest, like I said a while ago, timing, and I really did allude to more of that, you can really save a lot of money, especially in logistical costs, if you make sure that you understand their touring schedule. Their touring schedule brings them out here. That's when you want to get them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're paying to fly their ass out.
Yeah, special trip. Yep.
Yeah, one-outs are hard to get.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, fuck that.
Very strategic move there, no doubt.
That's how it worked for us.
Absolutely. But dude,
we were like, hey, you guys are coming here, and then next thing you know, they said, hey.
Yeah.
We opened up actually.
Well, let me put a bug in your ear. What do you think about trying to get the Iron Horse for Bike Week?
Dude, I'm there. I want to go to Sturgis one day.
Boy,
I want to get some of that.
I'm definitely.
No, I'm talking about. We take $20,000 and invest it in the Iron Horse. Pack that place out.
Bring in multi-stage.
Depending on what kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And depending on what kind of deal we could work out with the owners,
bring in beer.
That could be something that's.
Where is that?
I mean, that's what you want to do is try to get
Daytona.
Oh, it's Daytona. Okay.
Daytona, yeah. That's what I'm saying for Bike Week.
Yeah, yeah.
Which they may not be interested.
Yeah,
they may not be interested for Bike Week because they don't need it.
Yeah, they got other things that are bringing in money, no doubt.
But definitely,
they don't need
that are good. Big events. We always did good.
Well, that's why I want to
Florida Georgia weekend here in Jacksonville. If we'd get a gig at the Landing, the crowd was there.
Yeah.
So you'd be playing for
the pre-Rockville thing was very
people.
Good too.
Yeah,
it was built in because there were so many people, there the night before.
I'm hoping Tim and his wife score this venue like they're talking about doing. I'm trying very hard to work with some people right now. We're looking at some different venues that'll hold 1,000 people in them. And I am in some talks with that right now.
So that'd be like a Maverick-sized venue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've told this person that's all ears. But I've told this person, I would like to have this venue where I could put on business events during the week, and be in competition with Holiday Inn, the Marriott, where we could put petitions up and they could use the stage if they wanted, cater it, coffee, the whole 9 yards, cover up the bar. And they could put on business seminars or whatever they wanted to do. I don't give a rat's ass they do a dog show. I just want to put on events.
I hear you.
But country show one night and the next night, maybe Friday nights or hip hop night. So it's hip hop dance night on Friday night. But I'm trying to get into a venue that puts on things like that. That's not least like on the Landing, because the Landing sucked because of parking and because of all the riffraff that were showing up.
Yeah, it was a mixed crowd there for sure.
Yeah. But we definitely need some new venues in Jacksonville.
Oh, big time.
But in order for those venues to prosper, we've got to fill them up.
I haven't stopped by this Archetype. Have you seen that? I know you haven't seen it because I think it just came up within the last year. But have you seen it, Jeremy? What is it?
It's Nighthawks.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. So it's just under a new name, new management kind of.
So is Nighthawks kind of like Blackhawks?
Huh?
Is Nighthawks kind of like Blackhawks?
I guess it's
Blackhawks. Blackhawks, Nighthawks, whatever the fuck it was called. Was it Nighthawks? It was Nighthawks, wasn't it?
Yes, you're correct. Yeah.
I was calling it Blackhawks before, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that's why I was confused with Blackhawks.
He's talking about Blackhawks here.
At least we clarified.
Hey, I got Danny DeVito moments here in my band too.
Danny DeVito is
it's some Mandela shit.
It's just Jeremy flips names around on shit, man. It's funny as hell.
It's
well, at least I wasn't sitting there giving him the opportunity with fucking, I love Blackhawks.
Yeah. Yeah, at least it didn't, the narrative was not too bad. You know, the way we could use that sound bite on you. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, Chet. Well,
all right,
brother, it was great talking with you here all the way from Iraq. We wish you well. Godspeed on your
Hey,
home
wait,
journey.
before we go, man, we do this thing where we're like, hey, what have you been listening to lately? New bands that you've maybe just looked up or stumbled on somehow by somebody telling you about them or whatever. So what have you been listening to over there?
Well, let me look at my playlist. Been listening to a lot of All That Remains.
Okay.
You know what I've gotten into here lately is Motionless in White.
You cut him off, Jeremy.
But,
it's the same audio.
Motionless in White, huh? Is there a particular song?
Froze him up. I think Chet's froze. Are we back? Is he back? Is he gone?
Did we lose him?
Uh-oh. There he is.
He's in the Matrix.
There he's back. Jeremy was playing with buttons and got the volume down. Can you turn it back up, brother?
yeah, like
Oh, we did lose him.
Connection lost.
You're turning it down anyway. Wrong button. Let's see if we can call him back.
We're going to do a quick redial.
We didn't get to, hear what he was jamming to. I know it's Motionless in White.
I think it's because I got two tabs open here.
Could be. Let's see if we can get back to Chet.
Chatting with Chet.
It's ringing. No more buttons.
No more buttons.
Not on the live stream stuff. Or the Facebook chat. Come on, Chet. Come on, Chet. I think he's coming in. He's coming in on your phone. Oh, now we got a paradigm going on. Paradox. What do you call that?
Something went wrong.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe we'll get him back. If not, it was good chatting with Chet, no doubt. Chatting with Chet. Okay, here he comes. Just have to wait for him to come back. There he is.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying Motionless in White. The song I really like is Disguise.
Okay. He was going to pull that up, but it seems when he pulls up another tab, it kind of geeks with his signal. So we will jam to that after the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, that's a pretty digging song, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know you've been working on your own stuff, obviously, but with the band doing the Dropbox band. So that's
well, I haven't here. I've been gone from Taji now for the whole month of July.
Oh, okay.
I left at the end of June. So the only thing I've had is this old shitty acoustic that's got. I think they put a 2x4 and stripped half of it down to the neck. But so I've honestly the only thing I've been able to do with it is I sit here and screw around, but I'll just sit here and play boring ass scales.
Just play the Metallica song.
Dexterity.
Like all the open notes. Nothing else matters.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a party trick.
Yeah.
I can play guitar, watch this.
Oh, I know. It's like the first one you learn when you're starting out to impress people. Listen, I can play. You know what I mean?
Is that Metallica?
Nothing else matters, yeah.
Damn right it is.
But, yeah, I've been jamming to, I actually just I keep going backwards with old bands. Quicksand. Has anybody ever heard of Quicksand?
I haven't.
The 95, I think, was one of their first album, but actually the bass player that's now in Deftones, it was the band he was in prior to getting into Deftones after Chi died. So I didn't know that about that band.
I've been listening to this band.
Oh,
them guys are okay.
Them guys are a bunch of freaks, man.
Bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of funny how the first song is Black or White.
Yeah.
Is that Black or White Cocks?
Jeremy? Black or White Cocks.
Yeah.
Got a question mark after.
Yeah, what is it? Spray paint it red and then judged by size alone.
But what's funny is if you look at the first song is Black or White Cocks, the third song is Behind the Eyes.
Yeah.
And then the fifth song is Falling Apart. I mean, I think we're kind of
your eyes are falling apart.
It's just all shit in the end. Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Here's the good one. Memento Mori.
Okay.
Lamb of God.
Oh, Lamb of God. Yeah, sure.
That song,
that'd be a workout
that song rips. Yeah, that's her new one. Just came out in 2020.
Check that out.
That's
for sure.
crazy.
I've been digging on Gray Days. It's Linkin Park's.
Oh, yes.
Front man. It's his last project.
Chester. Well, actually, it was the band he was in before Linkin Park. Actually, kind of like the Stone Sour thing with Corey Taylor. Yeah, Gray Days was a project he was in prior to going out. To I think it was California, wherever Linkin Park was, and yeah, Gray Days was that project just prior to that.
Good stuff.
And it never got. It didn't get off the ground, and a lot of those songs were recorded back then in early 2000s or maybe late 90s. So they're resurrecting a lot of that, and it is a good album. I listened to it too.
Great Days. Check it out with this.
Well, check this out. So you see this shit?
Ronnie Millsap.
That's some country there.
All right.
That's your Texas is showing now, dude.
Here's something funny. So when I was a kid, yeah, I grew primarily up in Texas, but when I was a kid, when I was really little, before like first grade, kindergarten, I lived in Colorado. Okay. And so all the time in Colorado, somebody was fucking getting lost out in the woods, they dying in a fucking avalanche or something like that. So at that time, when I was a kid, my dad would listen to Ronnie Millsap all the time. There's big country fans. So I would listen to like Smoky Mountain Rain, and I thought Smoky Mountain Rain because I didn't realize the Smoky Mountains were in Tennessee and North Carolina, not Colorado, because to me,
different mountain
that's
range.
The only place in the world with mountains.
Sure.
Well, I mean, Colorado's
Rocky
got
Mountains,
the Smoky Mountains now, legalization and all.
Yeah, they're smoky now.
So, but like that song, it was almost like a song. Then the flame turned into a dying ember, and all at once you weren't here. So I thought she died in a forest fire. I didn't. It wasn't until just like this year when I started listening to this song again, I was like, oh fuck, she left him.
Oh yeah.
I always thought she died in a forest fire.
Dude, I know what you're saying.
Everything I knew was, So in the Smoky Mountain Rain, I thought she got lost in the woods. Well, she left him there too. This guy got left a lot. So now that I'm listening to it as an adult, because I hadn't listened to Ronnie Millsap since I was a little kid, but now that I listen to him as an adult, I'm laughing my ass off, going, "Fuck!" I thought he was just losing women left and right. Fucking one died in a snowstorm, one died in a fire, one ran off and got lost in the woods.
Yeah.
He's a serial killer, actually.
Yeah, it sounds more like that.
Yeah.
Put on a little.
I felt terrible for him, but
sensing a pattern.
Now I realize he was just a shit husband.
Yeah.
He probably didn't do the dishes.
So yeah.
Probably didn't.
That's cool to listen to different genres too. I mean, even though, like I think I mentioned before, Tom Petty's that band for me that I listen to, and I don't dissect the music. I'm not trying to, feed off of it for creativity. I'm just like chill music. I like to listen to.
That's Bob Marley for me. If I'm just looking to chill, pop that on, relax, clear the head.
Yep. So I guess Millsap's that for you.
I like. No, not at all. No.
Okay, what's that for you?
If I really want to chill, you'll be surprised. I like to listen to Daughtry.
Dude's awesome, actually. When you the recordings, the artists that he works with, like he's had Slash a few times do some guitar work on his recordings, and can't say nothing.
He did a song with LeJean.
Oh, did he?
He did a song with. That was a really kick-ass song. Yeah.
Awesome.
Seven Dust. I need to turn you guys onto that. You'll actually, I bet when I show you this, your guys are going to want to do a cover of it.
Okay.
I'll bet. Because it's that good.
Definitely. I mean, he usually doesn't put out too much.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have any Grey LeJean?
Plus, he usually has Chris Lord Alge doing his mixes too, which is the
so it's on chapter 7, Hope and Sorrow, and the song is called "The Past."
Okay.
So Chris Daughtry.
Brian.
Chapter 7, The Past.
The Past. Awesome.
Yep.
I wonder. I'm going to try something.
It's a slow song, and it allows both of them to do their thing. But Chris really kind of runs off with it on this. He really does a good job. But it's a slower song. It's kind of a, I don't know. It's not really a ballad, but it's kind of like, you know, two buddies singing. You know, and that's the other thing you got to understand about me. I'm not a homophobe. I mean, I'm not all about sucking dicks, but I'm not afraid to tell my brother. I'm not afraid to walk up to my brother and say, you know what, man, I love you.
Hey, man, the emotion of love goes both. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, and the emotion of love is the same. All, you know, universal.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean I want you sending me fucking duck lips while you're taking a shit, but
Josh,
you know.
Oh, hey, wait a minute! I do that all the time to you, bro. I thought you liked that shit. I mean, Josh Graves, when I send it to him, it'll be his cover on his Facebook for like weeks.
You guys have a competition going.
Yeah.
That dude, some of the shit he puts out is.
Nah, it gives me a boner.
It's hilarious.
I'm laughing, but at the same time, I'm like,
oh, he's borderline. He likes pushing the line, man.
He's definitely
to see where you break.
He likes making people uncomfortable, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
It's like, how uncomfortable can I make this person?
Definitely need to get him in here, bro.
Kind of my
new boot goofing.
Yeah, but we may find whenever you put him behind the microphone on a podcast, he like clams up and he's like won't talk.
Yeah, he won't say nothing. No, I bet you he'll be like having a comedian or something.
Yeah. We'll find out.
We will see.
We will find out. We'll put him on here. Enough about Josh.
Yeah.
More about you, Chet.
Well,
anything else, brother?
I'm really happy that in this, I'm really happy that in this podcast that we didn't dive into politics. That's awesome. That's something I was kind of worried about that when I first got on. I was like, man, I really hope we don't try to get into politics because
I don't
sure
like
is scary
forcing
back
it.
there in the States right now.
If it goes there, we'll talk. Anything from UFOs to butt sex. If it goes there.
Well, speaking of UFOs,
now we can't break away from the tradition you started. This is not going to be the first podcast, you guys. You're not going to fuck me like that.
Nah,
so
we got.
What's everybody drinking? What's
right
everybody
now,
drinking? You guys have done 3 of these.
I'm drinking Jimmy John's Powerade.
I've got the highest of quality H2O, 100% natural Florida spring water.
Yeah, I totally should have grabbed something on the way here.
I almost did, but I was like, I wouldn't be right unless you were here to toast with us.
You know
so
what?
When you get back,
I'll be right back.
I'll
be right back.
He's going to the truck.
Nope, refrigerator.
He's got something here, probably some moonshine.
Oh, he's got to get something. Shit, the last time I saw Brian was in there, you guys drank some shitty moonshine, tastes like Robitussin or something.
It was fucking terrible, dude. And, it literally was like worse than Robitussin.
Wasn't it blackberry or something?
Yeah.
I had 2 Yinglings.
Terrible.
So here.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
2 Yinglings.
That's for you.
There you go.
For Chet.
I'm gonna drink one.
Cheers,
Get
brother.
back to my station here. See, I left something here for this occasion.
Ooh, that kind of smells.
What? Smells good.
Like reefer.
Yeah. It's
down the hatch for you. Here, it's there.
We did have some alcohol after all.
There we go.
Actually,
we'll have to link up when I get back and do a barbecue or
do a live in-person podcast too, no doubt.
For sure, and bring the whole band on next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Well, we'll just have a big old get together. Maybe we'll go up to Hugging Up Beach and hang out up there with their mask on.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. I don't know.
I saw this thing the other day. They were talking about strippers in 2020 be like it. This chick had a mask and she was all doing this shit. Had me cracking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put the card swiper in their ass. Credit in the front, debit in the back.
You know what? I figured that was the real reason that DeSantis shut down the bars because let's face it, man, you're making bad choices without having to make a choice based on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're out drinking like this and shit, and you're like, hey, I like your eyes. You want to go home? And she's like, yeah. And you pull it off.
Oh, dude,
like,
yeah. Two. That's two inhibitors. You're drunk and you can't see.
Imagine how much your domestic violence is going to go through the fucking roof when you do that.
How many ugly kids we're going to have.
Yeah, that's probably why they have the bars closed. That exact reason right there. It ain't about the COVID thing. Well, it is, but I mean, they don't want the violence going any higher. Hey, I saw, speaking of violence, that we've had, like, how many shootings in this
25 in the past 2 days or however many days.
Well, it's going up quite a bit for some reason.
It's definitely tensions, but
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a different America, bro.
Well,
I know you're going to come back to a little bit different atmosphere. No
you left and it all went to shit,
the whole thing for me is honestly this, and I'll say this much. The thing for me is that I cannot understand how we are so stupid, and I realize that it's a small percentage of people that are that damn dumb, but people that are so dumb as to think that all this shit is going wrong just in the last 6 months.
No,
that you're going to have this much shit going, that you can tune into a news agency that is going to say nothing but bad things about Biden or bad things about Trump, and all that shit's true. It's fucking stupid. And the other thing that drives me nuts is that I went in about 5 months ago and I was looking at mortality. I was looking at mortality because I wanted to see what the mortality was for the last 20 years. Like I said, I'm analytical. I went in the other day and it took me 20 minutes to find the mortality. It's like they've been taken down. They didn't want anybody to look at the shit.
Okay.
I went back to the websites I used. And yeah. And so, but when I went and looked at it, here's what I did find. I finally went to a statistical database that was showing 2020 through where we're at now. And the interesting thing is that we've had the same growth in 2020 that we had in 2019 and 2018. We're looking at around 8.8 deaths per 1,000 is what we're looking at for our mortality rate.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't say they died of. That doesn't say whether it's gunshot or heart disease or, diabetes or COVID or any of that shit. It's just mortality. The mortality rate right now for 2020, the way it's trending, is exactly where it's supposed to be.
So it's hitting on with normal progression.
I mean, I understand. If you look at some states can show a spike, but if you look back at the last 20 years, you can see the same spikes.
Happen. I see what you're saying.
But they try to dial it down to a more condensed version. It's kind of like when they look at when they start talking about the Black Lives Matter and the whole movement with the racial thing.
Yeah,
I'm not racial. Okay, first of all, my grandchildren. I have grandchildren. Smart ass. So get that.
That's beautiful, bro.
But my grandchildren are half black, half white. Beautiful little girls. My former dickweed son-in-law is black. He's a black Marine, and I had hoped it'd work out because I was really kind of excited about having my daughter married to a Marine.
Sure.
But it didn't work out. He's a dickweed, so that's
different type of Marine, I guess.
But I don't give a fuck whether my daughter marries a black guy or not, whether he's Mexican. My ex-wife's Puerto Rican, for Christ's sake.
Sure.
So, but what I'm watching right now is I'm going, okay, wait a minute. I'm seeing so much. Oh, let me put it to you this way. I'm talking to my friends here, and some of my friends are black guys, and I'm talking to Victor and these other guys, and I asked them, I said, what do you really feel about it? And every one of them, first of all, is a Trump supporter, which I found kind of odd. But the other thing is they're all they're all detested by it. They're sickened by it. They talk to their families, and their families are sickened by it. Well, because, okay, first of all, what happened if you're trying to take 2020 values and apply it to the 16 and 1700s? You're a fucking asshat.
Sure.
Okay.
Totally
right now, saying the word fuck. Right now, saying the word fuck is frowned on in more society things. But it's not like the damning thing at all.
No.
But in 30 years from now, maybe fuck becomes the word of choice that, you said fuck 30 years ago. So I'm
freezing up. Uh-oh.
Tear a statue down and spray paint his nuts red. Well, fuck it. You guys are just taking a lot of pressure off. I don't care about doing great things because it doesn't matter that at the time owning people was the thing to do. We all know it's sick now. We know it. Absolutely. But in the 1600s, that was the thing. It was like owning a car, as sick as it sounds. But back then, they didn't have the love and the care and the idea that human beings are human beings, period. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So for us to look back hundreds of years and say, well, you were wrong, so let's tear your fucking statue down, it's just kind of stupid.
Well, it's kind of cool to see like a reaction.
So that's why I just stay away from the shit.
Yeah, sure. But even though, for me, being over here, the reaction of your friends over there is, I guess, not polluted by media as much as we are, it seems. You know what I mean? Like, to get their reaction removed from the situation, looking at it from an outside perspective in, is kind of cool to me. That they're like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? It seems to be how they feel about it.
Well, it's being driven by, if you look at the people, most of the people, now everything is averages. You've got the highs and lows of everything. And I've seen some very close friends of mine that I really care about getting on Facebook and saying some really, to me, dumb shit. But you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line to me that I hate the most, and hate's a strong word. I hate the fact that our government is not taking away our freedom of speech. We are taking that away as fucking citizens. You cannot go on Facebook and say, I believe in this, without a bunch of people piling on and calling you a dumbass or a piece of shit.
The social justice.
So we don't have to let our government take it away. We're doing that ourselves. We're taking away our own freedom.
Yes, sir.
Because we see through our own eyes. Yeah. But we talk about how we're all different and we're special. You know, I don't know like how that beer tasted, Jeremy. I know that beer right there to me tastes like a dog fart. You know, what I would guess a dog fart would taste like. But Jeremy may think Yingling right there tastes really good.
Yeah,
I don't know. If I eat an orange, it's going to do something different in my body than it's going to do to Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy may eat an orange and it's just fine. I eat that much citric acid, you guys are going to be puking because I'll be farting my ass off. But so we're all different is my point.
Sure.
You know, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you feel is going to affect you in a different way. So to say that we all should be sheep and moving in the same direction is stupid, and we don't believe that. But as soon as we see one person starting to drift off, we start trying to shoot the fucker.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's what's sad to me. If you want to follow Trump, if you want to follow Biden, if you want to follow nobody, I don't care. You have that freedom. But when you start trying to take somebody else's rights away and burn my goddamn flag, I get a little angry about it.
Yeah.
Because to me, like I said, I've been out here just as a contractor for 12 years. I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps active duty. I've got tons of friends that have done it. I'm a third-generation Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, I love my country. And I love Jacksonville, Florida. I love you guys. I love the fans. I love the people. But I do not like society.
Well, I'll tell you, like, it's real funny even for us being here, like, because we converse, you know, we see people, but I don't physically see these problems in reality. It's only on, like, media that these things exist. Mm-hmm. Like, for real. Because, I mean, I talk to all kinds of people of all kind of different races. And nobody has problems.
Every 4 years.
We're all cool with each other. I don't get it.
Every election year, this propaganda comes out to divide people.
It's like it's being implanted, of course. And I don't like it.
It is, but what makes me sad, where I'm getting that information from, is I'm watching Facebook. Trust me, I watch a lot more than I say.
Sure.
And so that's why I decided to take the TikTok videos, because trust me, as many videos that I put out chastising people, jumping in people's asses, probably 2 over how many TikTok videos I've done, because I just deleted them all. I said, no, I'm going to take a bunch of backlash, and then that list of people I'm going to beat the fuck out of when I come home is just going to keep growing. So
I got one of those.
I thought I'd just do away with that. So, but the bottom line is, no, I'm watching Facebook and I'm seeing people that I really care about
arguing,
being complete idiots.
Yeah, family members
piling on somebody. Yeah, I mean, man, you know that's what the great thing about our country is. That's what people understand. I see it. This guy Mustafa that just walked by just now. Very dear friend of mine. A guy speaks five words of English. But when we first got here, this guy, now you got to understand where I'm at right now. This is a medical facility that I'm in right now. And if we had to hook up the electricity to it, we had to get air conditioning because it is probably 1,700, 1,800 square feet. And we've got 17 people living in here with 1 toilet, 1 shower, 2 sinks, We're cooking outside for ourselves. We have food delivered every Monday out of the back of a bongo truck. We went and found some refrigerators that we stuck around here to keep our food cold. We're brushing our teeth with these damn water bottles that we got all over the place.
Survivor mode, bro. You hardcore, man.
You know, so and then we're in here fighting crickets and scorpions and
camel
fucking
spiders.
mice. The mice are terrible. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're dealing with that, and we're over here worried about something, statue.
Well, it's not even that. Here's the thing that breaks my heart, Keith. So Mustafa, that just walked by. This guy, when we first got here, I would take off and I would just walk. I wanted to go see the surroundings, so I took off and I just went walking. And I hear something behind me, and I turn around, and Mustafa's following me in some fucking flip-flops to make sure I'm safe.
Oh, yeah.
He's an Iraqi.
Yeah.
He's an Iraqi. He was following me everywhere I went for 3 days until I told him to leave me the fuck alone. I'm fine.
But you're on my radar, man.
He's a big Iraqi guy, speaks 5 words of English. But you know what? He doesn't have the right to say what he wants to say. He doesn't have a family living at home that he knows isn't going to be killed tonight or kidnapped or, have all their belongings taken away at any given moment. He doesn't have that right. He doesn't have that. And to see people that do have that right jump on somebody else and act like that just to me is sick. That's the thing that's sad for me.
Definitely
I watched that on Facebook. Yeah. When I watch that on Facebook with people that I care about, it really just breaks my heart because they don't even realize that what they're doing. They think they're just defending or arguing with somebody. They don't realize that they're taking away basic rights. And right now, the news agencies are even starting to talk about it. It's so bad nationwide. I'm seeing it on Facebook, so I know it's real. They're talking about it right now, the silent majority. Have you guys heard that yet?
Oh, I've
silent
heard
majority.
The last election, actually, too. And it came through.
I mean, it's just...
That's what I mean by, we're
just,
here
crazy.
in reality, not on a social media platform communicating, and that's not what is really happening. That's not the way people actually feel, like the heartbeat of the country, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not those people, I'm like, this is a very slim percentage of the people that are pushing this thing.
You have your wise people and you have your fools. The wise people think for themselves. Yeah. The fools do what they're told to do, to feel.
I don't know. There's some kind of fear mechanism that gets into certain people, and
programming.
They just don't question things. I'm not that kind of person. I question things. If it don't make sense, I'm just like, I'm out.
I was taught at a young age to question everything. Nothing that you hear and only half of what you see.
Yeah.
Well, I heard somebody, or I didn't hear them. I was reading them the other day, and they said, I'm very passionate about this, and this, and this. And they were talking about one side. And I just sat there and I thought about it for about 5 seconds. I thought, I'm very passionate about your freedom. That's what I'm passionate about. You've probably never left the county that you're living in, which is why you're talking so ignorantly right now.
Sure, yeah.
And you want to burn the flag, and you want to talk about all this shit, but you're burning a flag that represents the ability to do what you're just doing.
To be that.
That's how. Yes.
Slap in the face.
That's where the irony comes. But when they went down to the Vietnam Memorial, which my father served a couple of tours in Vietnam, and my father's a great guy. He's still alive, thank God. But
awesome.
He's a pain in the ass. I love him to death, but he's my hero. He was 35,000 years EOD guy in the Marine Corps. Just a tough dude. It's just too tough. Matter of fact, my father, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, just got out of another surgery because he had hip surgery, but he decided to get one of those walk-behind bobcats because he lives up in the mountains in Colorado.
Okay.
And he just had hip surgery a month before. They told him to stay down for 4 months, had a hip replacement done. So he's all fucked up, but he wants to get this dirt that's around his new garage that he just built with these other guys. He's like 76 years old. He gets a walk-behind bobcat and is out there pushing the fucking dirt out of the way. The bobcat starts to let go. Instead of letting it go and getting away from it, he tries to correct it, and it falls on him and breaks his other fucking leg.
Oh, shit.
So then he has to go back to my mom carries him back to the hospital, and he's in surgery. As soon as he gets to the hospital, they take him in and put some shit in his leg to fix it up because it's not good. Not good. Can you guys not kill each other or kill yourselves? Yeah. Can you just behave?
Yeah. Till I get back, at least, then I can help you out. I'll help you out. Just chill out, man.
Yeah, I'm not much I can do from here. My mom's hitting me up. Oh, yeah, your dad. But they're not even worried about it. She's like, yeah, your dad kind of screwed up and did this, this, and this. And I'm thinking, fuck me. You guys just stop just for a moment.
Well, he don't know any other way,
bro. On a pillow.
You know, it'd be hard to beat that out of you, too, man. You know, you just got to keep moving and doing things. And, yeah, that's the warrior in you, no doubt.
Yep. But that's really it, guys. That's as far as my politics go. Just I wish people would understand the flag.
Well, that's I think why you're an artist and why you're in music is where your heart's at and the whole thing. It's about the people. That's why you're over there right now, you know, and you know what I mean. It's your angle, seeing us fall apart almost from how far away you are. It has to be a crushing sight in a way, and.
It is if you let it be. I tend to, but see that's why I think it's our job. So now what I see, because I don't pay attention to other shit, when my thing comes up on Facebook, I don't even go to the home. I just go to my page.
Sure.
I post some dumb shit of me shaking my ass and the crotch cam and and all this. And so I'm forcing them to give me some positivity. You motherfuckers don't want to. I'm going to force it out of you. I'm going to be the village idiot, and you're going to interact with me in a positive way. So I don't have to see the dumb shit you're doing.
Especially knowing the conditions that you are surviving in right now, and that's your attitude. It's admirable. I mean, I just want to, tip of the hat to you, bro. Seriously.
Oh, I appreciate that, but honestly, this is like camping. I mean, if you guys were here, we'd be having a blast.
Oh, dude, I love camping, no doubt.
It's not that bad.
I do like testing
myself. Crickets and occasional bombing. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did have some rockets yesterday. We had 8 rockets, but you can't do anything for rockets. I do have a really cool video I'll show you guys when I get back. You can hear the rockets coming in. It's the best video that I've gotten. You don't really see much, but you can at least hear the damn things and what you hear when you have rockets coming in.
Sure.
With the pops and the motors and all that kind of shit. It's really pretty interesting. So luckily I was able to get that. And I got a video of the C-ramp going off. That's a pretty cool little piece of machinery. But it's really, honestly, it's not that bad.
That's
I can sit here and let you stroke me. The C-Ram?
Yeah. Is it the really fast
shooting
gun?
Yeah.
Badass.
I've got a video on my phone. I'll show it. Hell, I could probably send it to you. But the C-Ram's pretty kick-ass. But honestly, that's the thing, though. You hit on it right there. I'm not one of those guys that's going to come back, and I don't get into all the, hey, thank you for your service, and wanting to sit around and talk about it all the time like I did something fucking noble and great. Nah, none of that happened. Okay, we're all just doing our job, and quite honestly, anybody that comes back from here whining about shit, then you had no business being over here in the first place. If you do what you're getting. But it's like if you, me, and Jeremy all came out here and were doing this, you're in it together, and you're walking out going, like today, it was hot. I mean, it was so fucking hot. And I walked out, and the Iraqi's like, fucking too much hot. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Too much hot. And I go outside, and I'm like, son of a bitch. You walk outside, and it's just like, oh, my God, I'm melting. 8%. There's only 8% humidity, but it felt like it was like, I think it was 50 degrees Celsius outside today. It was ridiculous. And but you're in the same shit together. So the guys are out there cooking. They made some lamb and onions, and they put some tomatoes with it. They brought some samoon. I don't have any here, but it's just a really good bread. It's delicious. And you cut it open. You put the lamb and the onions and the tomatoes and all that shit. And I got this wonderful sea salt, this Himalayan pink salt.
Oh yeah.
I put on everything except oatmeal. But you sit here and you're eating and you're listening to their music. They're watching a soccer game. They're playing dominoes. It's like camping. That's all it is. It's not like I'm out here dying.
Right on. Yeah, we were taking bets of what you were over there doing. We're like, I bet he's this like top secret hitman that like escorts the general off camp and he like kills people and all this cool stuff. But
no. I actually right now we're a 17-man team and we snuck off, and that's why I'm not going into where I'm at. I'm somewhere around Baghdad.
Somewhere in the vicinity of
we don't need to.
The area.
expose nothing.
Well, I will tell you this. Now, this was kind of freaky the other day. I never had this happen, so I found out that there was. Okay, we've got Hezbollah. You guys have heard of Hezbollah, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I've heard of them.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization out of Lebanon. Okay. That's where they primarily got their start. But they're backed by Iranian funding, and we had about 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I'm the only American here. I've got 2 guys from the British SAS that are with us. We've got some Iraqi guys. I've got some guys from Kenya, 1 guy from Panama. But we found out that there was some questioning going on out in the village about our whereabouts and our presence here. And they said, we know there's an American there. And what type of weapon does he have? What kind of weapons are around him? And how many people are there? And all this kind of shit. And to know that a fucking terrorist organization like Hezbollah knew about me personally and was asking about my location and how many people I got around, ammunition, and weaponry, and vehicles, and all this shit. That was a little freaky, buddy.
Yeah, time to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah,
that's where I was like, maybe I better rethink all this bullshit. But then we found out that it was actually horseshit. They were just trying to scare me. The guys that were doing that were trying to scare me because I'm the commander of this mission. So they were trying to scare me, which they did a pretty good fucking job for about 6 hours until I found out they were full of shit. And then I just wanted to catch them and pull their pubes off.
Yeah, but, give them a noogie beating.
that wasn't funny.
Yeah,
not funny.
My heart got fucking racing there, buddy.
You bastards.
Yeah. Not a funny one.
Yeah, well, I think they about nutted because I jumped on the phone with corporate and I said, I'm not dying over some fucking air conditioners.
No doubt.
Hey, you're not using me as a CNN prop when they fucking throw my goddamn head out in front of the embassy. Fuck that.
Shit,
Fuck all that.
Yeah, none of that.
That's a whole nother subject, huh? CNN.
Yeah, what's that song? Hell no.
To the
no. Hell to the no.
Hell no.
Fuck all that.
No doubt.
So, anyway, hey man, we could talk. We could talk for hours, but
yes,
I'll see you guys when I get back. I'm sure you've got more than enough information. But I appreciate you guys having me on. I really.
No, dude, it was
great.
It was an honor having you.
It was an honor.
It really was, man.
I appreciate it, guys.
But we hope to see you soon, man.
I'll see you guys.
Whenever you get a date, you let us know, and we can definitely get together as soon as you get back.
Give us a yay for the road, brother.
Yay!
There it is.
All right, my man. Be good. We love you. We'll talk soon.
Yay! All right, guys. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.